Bring it back. Yo, what up, Prime Minister? On Earth days, the gods smoke weed and call it high day. Roach blunts on New Year's Eve keeps me off the highway. Seeing drunk drivers crash landing in a ditch the way it shines. He just some D's on that bitch. 1,000 a pop, plus the tree tore up the rag top. Not for his life, but for the car. I saw this fat drop to his knees praying. Blacks have messed up priorities. 34 plus years old, telling you to sitting on keys. Telling women to drop it like garbage on the corner. Or shake it like salt and pepper, but you're in church tomorrow. Praying to white Jesus, your breath smells like Gin Seagram's. You're bathing in cause he died for your sins. If Jesus is a Jew, why does he have a Greek name? I'm asking you, why does the Pope wear a Jewish yarmulke? Things sound strange, this world is messed up. In diamonds and 2 earrings, black men are dressed up. Walking on the ancestors' blood and say it's a red carpet. Come around here playing your big and become a target. I'll bring it back to those days when we would threaten DJs, saying they're pro Toronto but not giving no airplay. Unless you're a rude boy speaking in Bacardi slang. No matter how much you email, they reply hardly, man. On November 06, I received an email about too much backlog. They did receive my tracks, but it shouldn't take that long. It's not 2-7, I haven't heard Prime, but I heard Pretty Ricky talk sex about 50 times. I heard booty 20 plus times, rims and censorships on every track. These slaves talk about so much whips. Who wants to be a blood, a sellout, or a crip? Sign the dotted line when you rhyme so you can rep that shit. That's what they tell you. To hell they'll send you. Dumb black energy is on the devil's menu. Cause you think it's physical, but it's all spiritual. No snow till January, cramp heart with rituals. Shrines with Khalid Muhammad holding the AK. You would think I'm coming clean when my mind spray. If I wanted to be with thought power, I say, with eyes closed in meditation, abracadabra or ashe. It's been years since I've been to a party. Drunk off chartreuse or coke with Bacardi. Speaking to bouncers and slurs, tripping over my words. Calling girls chicken but still flip cops the bird. Stumbling around this concrete jungle. No more time, I took an oath and swore to be humble. Hey yo, I got them sick thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them hot thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them sick thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them hot thoughts to make you rise drastically. Hey yo, we bust the vortex like concrete to boots vortex. Listening to Flow 93.5 just gets me more vexed. But it's something I must deal with, like slavery and whites. Raping the black woman and man in the day all night. Stomping on babies to grape juice, mentally they rape you today. It wasn't physical so far back in the day. That was only 500 plus years ago. Moorish American, not Zulu like Mutu Credo. Scarborough, reppin' Scarborough since the Bago. Call me Negro and I turn charger from San Diego. No matter what your name is, you could be nameless. When you know your melanin self, our time is ageless. Our spiritual self is shapeless. But on the shelf, you got some hook nose like God outside of yourself. So-called or proclaimed by Nicaean bishops. I'll get on armed soldiers or warfield marshals and councils or bishops. Enough, that's just the sight of us that'll make you hiccup. Just like unsophisticated driving us behind trucks pickup. When I show slave pictures, stomach acid, you're gonna spit up. Make the devil drop to his knees and the God lift up. Hey yo, I got them sick thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them hot thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them sick thoughts to make you rise drastically. I got them hot thoughts to make you rise drastically. Reality.
Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality.
Fantasy, I'm living in reality.
Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality.
Fantasy, I'm living in reality. My reality, my reality, my reality. My reality includes no illusion. Facts to a Negro's head gives a contusion. Looking from the marvelous light, I know confusion. Has you in a fantasy thinking war's a losing. Even though Princess Michael wears Moorish brooches, now I told you what the problem is. Niggas are roaches. Still thinking like the colonists and lacking competence. If you didn't diss the birthright, the black psychologist wouldn't be getting put through the ringer over a license. If you don't do anything else be a more, it's priceless. So don't get played buying Moorish papers and cards without first studying. Be a man vanguard. Wake up, stop taking credit from your master's cards. Stay in debt. I bet the lower self you a bet. Higher self you abandon, left notwithstanding. You keep constricting and keep not expanding.
I'm a fantasy, I'm living in
Reality.
Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality.
I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality.
Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality.
I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality. My reality, my reality, my reality. My reality includes no illusion. Facts to a Negro's head gives a contusion. Looking from the marvelous light, I know confusion has you in a fantasy thinking war's a losing. Even though Princess Michael wears Moorish brooches, now I told you what the problem is. Niggas are roaches, still thinking like the colonists and lacking competence. If he didn't diss the birthright, the black psychologist wouldn't be getting put through the ringer over a license. If you don't do anything else for your more, it's priceless. So don't get played buying Moorish papers and cards without first studying. Be a man vanguard. Wake up, stop taking credit from your master's cards. Stay in debt. I bet the lower self you a bet. Higher self you abandon, left notwithstanding. You keep constricting and keep not expanding. Still caught up in debates with the back and forth who's who you know are still liars, not speaking the truth. Pay for dirty Moors classes, won't study with us. That's blood and shark waters, good luck. You warned, me scorned for strangling feelings, maiming emotions. Reality check, see demons. Salivating, tasting your aura, lust in your passions. Go in meditations, body does devilish actions. Get back to your body, people watching you funny. Wearing skinny jeans with rips grown crisscross dummy and civil little mortus. They sell you out claiming professor. Index you on a list for the oppressor. But you are an heir, true successor. Drew Alia's fought Muhammad's predecessor. Turban with the sun, this and out of feather. High treasonous from the gallows hang together. Silent cowards down to their roots. With no courage or strength to stand for the truth. Challenge corruption, volcanic eruption from youth. Awaken memory banks, reconnecting with Ruth. Not terrified of the birthright. Not terrified of the birthright. Not terrified of the birthright. Know thyself, thoughts, scare and hurt, fright.
I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, I'm living in reality. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. I'm a fantasy, okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. Yeah. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality. Okay, fantasy, I'm living in reality.
Northgate, H2O flow, Sheik, Canaanland, Moorish, Release Fall, Shalon Davis, salute, hot house, check it, They say they wanna learn, they only debate, referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound the great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test. Fact, that's my hand in the form of a V on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor, that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannous. That is my land, never faking. Secret, traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostle, we should read more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they wanna learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning as the full moon hung, spiral energy moving.
Northgate, H2O flow, Sheik, Canaanland, Moorish, when these fall, Shalon Davis, salute, hot house, check it. They say they wanna learn, they only debate, referencing the truth, trust me, they only sound great. Study nationality before you question my estate. I'm not a minority, why you so late? Majority rules, here comes the test fact. That's my hand in the form of a seed on the chest. That's a womb that is blessed like a moon and a crest. Major forever, infinite mindset. Major from birth, that's a seed in process. I'm a Moor, that is easy to digest. Competent, never tyrannous. That is my land, never faking. Secret traditions, petitions for what you're not Jamaican. Westmoreland to Portmore, everybody needs more. If you please more, following the apostle, we should read more. I see the unseen more, we more. That's a fact. Canaanland.
They say they wanna learn, complain classes are too long. Don't want it on a phone call, energy too strong. Get it from the wrong source, now they way off course. Think they must be Muslim and give up on all sports. Should give up the red meat, must give up on all porks. Won't be yelling haram when the bottles are uncorked. Eating with the spoon, use forks for tuning. Eating humble pie, no ego ballooning. Samson 2 caterpillars, got him cocooning as the full moon hung, spiral energy moving. Up through the crown chakra, energy shooting, and told me upload classes before live YouTubing. 16,000 subscribers, 20% consuming, 80% troll pretending to be tuned in. Comment on every video, pushing the thumbs down. We'll push the link when we live just like a clown. Pouring in the incompetence, always debating. Dissing Drew Ali, but won't give their location. His image on the black banner, that's placation. Just get him out of here, Yusuf yells in frustration. We know they're playing games, we're not berating. Calling 911, Shematar's penetrating. In defense of prophets and mothers abused. And newly awakened Moors, amused and confused.
Islam Moors, peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We're here for once again Q&A Wednesday, right here, Canaanland Moors. I think this is episode 19 or so. So honors to all the Moors who've been sending in their questions, not being shy to send their questions. You remain anonymous anyways, so you don't have to worry, about your name getting out there, because you're asking about some stuff you saw. Now Moors are going to be chasing you because you're asking about why they're charging you $500 or whatever. So you remain anonymous. The email is canaanlandguide@gmail.com. Canaanland, GUIDE, @gmail.com. If you have any questions, you could send them over there. But as usual, before we do that, for all the people who don't get to be on IG, I'm just going to scroll for you. We have to remind people, we have to remind them that everybody knows that we're Moors. It's not a secret. Everybody knows that we're Moors. So when people want to pop up now, if people want to pop up now and they want to be talking about orders on the release of Dr. Malachi York L, and he got to be out now because Dr. York taught that we're Moors. Dr. York told the Nuwapians that they have a united Nuwapian Nation of Moors constitution. Dr. York taught these Nuwapians, Dr. York taught these Nuwapians that they have their own Nuwapian Circle 7 Quran that came from Noble Drew Ali. Dr. York taught these Nuwapians that they have a nationality, but they're Moors. They're a nation of Moors called Nuwapians. You know, some people are going to switch the thing up and start talking about Tamaray and you know, trying to play games. But don't let them play games with you. Everybody knows we're Moors. It's not a secret about who we are. All the master teachers of whatever school of thought, all of them know about Noble Drew Ali. If Dr. Sebi knows about Noble Drew Ali, all these people know about Noble Drew Ali. So why aren't they telling you? Why are they playing games with you? As if they don't know about Noble Drew Ali and who Noble Drew Ali is. They know him. They know about him. It's not a secret. It's not a secret. Everyone knows. If they have their own constitution, they know. If their constitution has their great seal of the Nuwapian Nation of Moors on it, and the great seal is called the Great Seal of the Nuwapian Nation of Moors. Anytime you hear these people talking to you about Indian chiefs and Black Indians and Yamasee and whatever other BS that they're gonna try to convince you that that's who we are, except Moors, no, they're a liar. And if they're a liar, why are you listening to them? Oh yeah, because you're a dumbass. That's why we only care about the two people in the back who's fed up with the BS. That's all. The two in the back, all we got to do is wake them. And we're good. Did our job. Did our job. We don't need the 50 million people with their phone out recording something. We don't need that. Don't fall for it. You better not fall for it. I'm going to show you how much of a fraud these people are pulling. That's how big their fraud is. Their fraud is huge. Huge.
Go into the fold and turn website layouts into an art form with Flip Studio.
They're trying to force into treaties too.
Right? So they're talking about the Sovereign International Court of Justice, the Sovereign International Criminal Court. put out a special order in 2019, an order of release to get Malachi York L released. Right? But when you go and check, you realize that the International Court of Justice and the International Criminal Court doesn't use the term sovereign on their website. They don't say that they're sovereign. They don't say that they're sovereign. So where these people get this idea to come out here days ago and putting out here that there's an international criminal court that told the European colonists that, because Dr. York is Indian and all that stuff, they don't have jurisdiction, they need to release him. 2019. Has he been released yet? You ever ask the question why he hasn't been released? And then you start calling all that racist, and they don't want black Indians to do this, and they don't want black Indians to do that. Let's go further. And people want to play games. Let's play. So you can pull this up yourself. The Sovereign Court of International Justice. This is them. These are the people who they're saying told these Europeans to let go of Dr. York, get him out, right? Is the High Court for Human Rights and International Law Cases, operated by the independent judiciary profession. Independent judiciary profession. That's not the International Criminal Court. These people right here aren't no International Criminal Court. These people are independent judiciary of some Europeans, Asiatics who came together whenever they did, formed their own whatever, because they realized that there's fraud going on out here. And then opposed to going out and telling people, oh, do you know that the fraud is really that you're not Negro, black, colored, that you're Moors, like Dr. York was doing? No. They started their little IGO called the Sovereign Court to play games, because they issued their stuff since 2019, and Doc's still locked up right now. So stop the BS. If International Criminal Court told somebody out here, you need to do something, they're going to go do it. These people are liars. That's all they are, liars. So when you go down to the bottom of the International Criminal Court, the sovereign International Criminal Court, who these people are saying is the authority for indigenous whatever, right? When you go down, they talk about this is hosted by the Royal Alliance of Independent States, powered by the Holy Spirit. International Criminal Court, that's how they talk? I thought they deal with law and stuff like that. Why are they talking about spirits and whatever? Why are they talking about spirits? Let's just go check. Let's just go check. So these powered by the Holy Spirit International Criminal Court, who these Indians are telling you that is the authority or whatever, They're from the ancient apostolic church. That's what they're repping for? I thought these people were chiefs of Indian tribes and all that. Why are they repping for the pontifical ancient apostolic church? These are the black Indian people. This is for the black Indian whoever's who are going to ride with certain people with European names calling themselves Indians. You ever notice these people who say that that keep pushing this Indian stuff on you, that their names are European? Certain people's name comes from Galloway. And Galloway were Moors who ruled Europe. That's who the Galloways were, Moors, not black Indians. Certain people don't, and then they started not saying Galloway, because if they say Galloway, it's going to give up that they're a fraud, because you can't be a European and claim to be Indian and sovereign. You know, what are you talking about? These people are trying to convince you that you, black Indian whoever's, should go to the venue called the International Sovereign Criminal Court. The International Sovereign Criminal Court is ran by the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is the sovereign, pontifical, ancient, apostolic church, which is the same Romans who murdered your ancestors. But these are your chiefs. Certain people with European names claiming that they're Indian chief. They're Indian chief, right? They're Indian chiefs. They're Pontiac chiefs. That's not a car. You're a Pontiac. These chiefs are Pontiacs. Just like these chiefs are black sparrows and then all other type of BS that they're making up. Chief Longhorn and all this crap. You animal? You hear Hero call himself Eagle Head and all that stuff? You hear Hathor called a cow head? The Sibylline cow head. You know, Sekhmet is talking about lion head empress and all that BS. Or she used her free name. People are liars. Bunch of liars working with the church to keep you enslaved mentally. Working with the church to keep you enslaved mentally. And then you're going for it. Well, how about this? This is how certain people feel about these colonists and the people who work with them. That's how they feel. Keep playing around. He was not waiting for you niggers.
And praise your Father who is in heaven. Why not respect freedom of everybody if you say you are a Democrat? If you say you are a Democrat, why don't you respect the freedom of everybody? How can you say you are a Democrat and yet you want other people to be slaves? Why do you not seek to influence people by your good example? instead of manipulation, lectures, and threats. As bullies, the Europeans used their progress in technology of shipbuilding and the use of gunpowder to conquer Africa, the Americas, Asia, and the Pacific. European looting of the rest of humanity through slavery, imperialism, colonialism, semi-colonialism, conquest, and extermination of the indigenous people in some cases went on for 500 years. Instead of humanity celebrating the scientific advances, conquest, and extermination of the Americas, Asia, and the Pacific. European looting of the rest of humanity through slavery, imperialism, colonialism, semi-colonialism, conquest, and extermination of the indigenous people in some cases went on for 500 years. Instead of humanity celebrating the scientific advances in shipbuilding, the wider use of gunpowder, which had been discovered by the Chinese around 800 BC, the wider use of quinine against malaria that the Spanish had learned from the indigenous Indians of the Americas, the printing press, the steam engine, and all the other inventions were to spend 500 years in anti-colonial wars to expel the evil parasites. And looting of the rest of humanity through slavery, imperialism, colonialism, semi-colonialism, conquest, and extermination of the indigenous people in some cases went on for 500 years.
You hear them talk about slave ships? You hear them talk about somebody brought somebody over somewhere and then they enslaved them? No. Colonialism in the Americas, 500 years. Because these colonists, because these modern European colonists that came into this land, enslaved the people here, and now they rule the world. Because they slaved the indigenous people of the Americas. They enslaved the people of the Americas. They didn't bring them from anywhere. They enslaved them where they were. Somebody's been lying to you. But again, Moore's already told you all that when the Aquarian age comes, it's going to be truth and nothing else. Not going to have any option. It's either truth or perish. It's either you know what the truth is or you're going down with the ship. Right? It's of utmost importance that the people realize that the world knows what the Moors have been telling our people for the past 100 years. The world knows. This is not Moors' opinion. Moors don't speak opinion. Right? How they claiming the Democrat and democracy, but they're violating everybody's rights. How? They're not supposed to do that. Democracy means that everything's fair, and no, it doesn't. Democracy means the mob rules, and the mob's been ruling. And the mob's only ruling because these dummies in North America keep calling themselves Negro, black, colored instead of calling themselves Moors. Keep calling themselves Hebrew Israelite and nation of gods and earths and nations of Islam, talking all types of BS instead of being who their ancient foremothers and forefathers were, Moors. They want to play cult games. They want to play organization games. Banner call it a flag games. And everybody around the world is seeing what's going on and knows exactly what's going on and what happened to these people. And everybody's in their bag now talking about it. Because now the violations are happening to them in their own lands. They never thought that stuff would ever happen.
Instead of humanity celebrating the scientific advances in shipbuilding, the wider use of gunpowder, which had been discovered by the Chinese around 800 BC, the wider use of quinine against malaria that the Spanish had learned from the indigenous Indians of the Americas, the printing press, the steam engine, and all the other inventions were to spend 500 years in anti-colonial wars to expel the evil parasites. In the case of Africa, it is only in 1994 that the indigenous people of South Africa regained control of their country. So we had to spend 500 years dealing with idiotic schemes by greedy people. The oppressors miscalculate when they use their temporary advantage in science and technology to think that they can use that to indefinitely oppress other people. The oppressed will learn, catch up, and defeat the oppressor. You may get stereotypes about Africa, that Africa, they have no food, they are starving. Here we are dying from food. We have so much food here. So those images which you see about some bad situations, don't think they represent the whole of Africa. The oppressed will learn, catch up, and defeat the oppressor. You may get stereotypes about Africa, that Africa, they have no food, they are starving. Here we are dying from food. We have so much food here. So those images which you see about some bad situations, don't think they represent the whole of Africa. Africa has got everything. Here we have everything. What we need from other people are markets and investments. But we shall not only sell to you, we shall also buy from you. We are not like others who want only to sell to others, but not to buy from them.
We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about.
So people know around the world. People know around the world that the time's up. The indigenous people of the world know that the Asiatics in America are the ones who need to be woken up. And until they wake up, it's suffering for everyone. Until these niggers wake up. That's when the suffering stops. When the niggers wake up. Are they going to wake up? Some of them are awake already. But the masses love to sleep.
I'm Moorish American, brother.
You who?
I'm a Moorish American.
Oh,
I'll do your homework on Moorish, brother.
moist.
Nah, man.
A moist American is crazy.
I'm a Moorish American, brother. But I'm Moorish. But I'm Moorish American, brother.
You who?
I'm a Moorish American.
Who?
I'll do your homework on Moors, brother.
Do your homework on Moors. Because even the nigger whoever's out here waving guns and all that stuff, even they know that they're Moors. Even niggers out here doing nigger stuff know that they're Moors. I mean, they're not seeing Kush Bay TikToks or whatever. They're seeing it. They know. Word been out. Your dumbass is late to the party. People know what's up. The dummies are the ones who don't know. So it's only going to be a handful saved. Because many don't want to know. They don't want to know the truth. They love the lies and the falsehood. They love it. When they hear a lie, they start salivating. Right? Official rise of the Moors. Allah and man are one is a metaphor showing the relationship between man and his spirit, which Allah gave to man. This means Allah is the creator of man. Allah is not his own creation. Allah was not created. The oneness that's taught by Noble Drew Ali also proves that Allah cannot be divided into multiple things. And then a more put in the comment section. So why does Allah have 99 names then? If Allah cannot be divided into multiple things, isn't Allah having multiple names, multiple things? And if Allah cannot be divided, then how will Allah have 99 names, which are multiple things? So either you're going to realize that religion is a contradiction, so leave it alone. Either you're going to realize that religion and religions and anybody playing religious games is a contradiction. Because you can't tell me the oneness of Allah and then tell, oh yeah, you got 99 names. But this is how Moors think. This is how Moors think. Because a wise man doubteth often. And the goddamn idiot doubteth not. And if you're going to sit there and you hear somebody tell you, yes, the oneness of Allah, but he has 99 names, and you're oohing and eyeing at this incompetence, you're about to get played. They're about to take all your tithes, all your zakat. They'll take everything from you and leave you standing there like a big dummy. Thus, we see Allah is not everything. Noble Drew Ali confirms that Allah is not everything by stating what Allah is not. The sun is used as an example as to what Allah is not. Therefore, we can logically deduce that if we know that Allah is not the sun, as the sun is not the creation of Allah, as the sun is the creation of Allah. then we see that Allah cannot be his own creation. This is madness. Because once you know that you're one with Allah, so grab the shovel and let's dig some ditches. Stop the BS. If we know we're Moors, then what's the problem? Grab the freaking stuff and let's get some work done. No, people want to debate stuff. Everybody's the man. Everybody has the answers. Man and Allah are not one, but I'm supposed to listen to them because they're making some claims instead of dealing with the truth. So Drew Ali gave you 5 principles, so you don't have any excuse. Pick one of those principles and live by them, and you'll be all right. Just pick one. We're not even gonna put you in the predicament to convince you that you have to push all 5 of them. Just one. Just one. Right? Because they're under Muslim whatever, on their Muhammad crap, they're gonna bring up, well, see, in Islam it says darkness into light, and Noble Drew Ali said darkness into light. So Noble Drew Ali was telling us to study Islam and go to the mosque and go pray, because Noble Drew Ali said. Well, what if Peter said? And then keep in mind, Peter is Patah. And we're not talking about some Christian crap. Since you want to talk about metaphors and all that stuff, then obviously you know that Peter is Patah. Now, if you're talking about Patah and darkness into marvelous light, and the Noble Drew Ali said that, then we can use Patah as well as a reference, not just Muhammad. We don't have to use Muhammad because Muhammad said darkness into marvelous light. Because even Peter said darkness into marvelous light. So we don't have to say Muhammad. Because Noble Drew Ali said Muhammad, then we have to say Muhammad. No, we don't. That's Drew Ali's own 5 senses. He told me use my own. And when I use my own, I don't just see Muhammad talking about darkness into marvelous light. I hear Peter talking about darkness into marvelous light as well as. And if Peter's before Muhammad saying darkness into marvelous light, you know, these people play games with you. You are only playing yourself because they already got what they're going to get. Whatever it is that they wanted, they already got that. So they have nothing to lose or gain. They already got their what they got. They got their gain already. The point is, what are you gonna do? You've been convinced this whole time that only Muhammad talked about darkness into the marvelous light and Noble Drew Ali. And then because Noble Drew Ali mentions Muhammad in some of his literature, then, oh my gosh, this is verifying that we should be following Muhammad because Noble Drew Ali followed Muhammad. Well, Drew Ali also told you, follow Buddha. Well, Buddha said in our darkest moments that we must focus to see the light. No, out of darkness into marvelous light again. And now it's Buddha saying it. Well, Drobadru Ali said we honor Buddha. So how come you guys not going to the Buddhist temple and gonna go pray with them? How come you only go into the Islamic temple to go pray? How come you only go into masjid? How come you don't go to the Buddhist temple? Because Buddha said darkness to the marvelous light. And Nobuju Ali said we must honor all true and divine prophets, didn't he? Find me one of these Islamic Muslims who, since they honor Nobuju Ali so much and he said Muhammad and they're going to the damn masjid all the damn time, how come they haven't gone to the Buddhist temple yet? How come they haven't gone to the Buddhist temple? Jwali said we honor Buddha, didn't he? Check mark, okay. Buddha said, from darkness into the marvelous light. Check mark. So not only should Moors be going to the masjid, but they should also be going to the Buddhist temples. So why aren't they going to the Buddhist temple? Why are they only going to the masjid? And at that point, you realize,
is I don't curse him out, and as long as I don't threaten him, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes. We sick and tired of that nigga there. We sick and tired. Is I don't curse him out, and as long as I don't threaten him, I can say what I want. Am I correct? Yes. We sick and tired of that nigga there. We sick and tired. Is I don't curse him.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up. I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. Hey man, just want to let you know.
At some point, you have to come to the realization. At some point. That's up to you. It's your sojourn. This is your sojourn. You're going to do what you got to do. So the first question we got today: what is the difference between an American Moor and a Moorish American? What is the difference between an American Moor and a Moorish American? Now, the fact that it's out there that there's a difference let you know how deep the sellout is. You know, once you get over the fence and then you're on the side of the Moorish paradigm, okay, well, you thought over there with the niggers was crazy? Wait till you get over here. See how crazy this stuff is. You thought the nigger stuff you were dealing with was crazy, and now that you're a Moor, now this stuff is figured out and everything's perfect. And this fucked over here too. Because people playing games. Drew Ali told the Moors, oh yeah, 555 for all the numerology Moors. Drew Ali told the Moors, we're Moorish Americans because we're descendants of Moroccans born in America. So whether you call them American Moors, Moorish American, Moors, Moorish, American Moors, once you're talking about America, And once you're talking about Moors, you're talking about one people. People in the Americas that are Moors. No matter whether they went to the temple, did they go to the temple or not. The people who've been in America the longest, they're the American Moors. So there's no difference. When you're talking about America and you bring up Moors, you're talking about American Moors, Moorish Americans, the same damn thing. Moors of the Americas. We're not the Moors of Spain. We're not the Moors of Al-Andalus. We're not the Moors of the North African and whatever. We're not the Moors and the Barbary pirates and all that. We're not those Moors. We're the Moors of the Americas. We have a fertile crescent over there. We have our own fertile crescent here. We have our own pyramids and all that over here. You don't need no pyramids from over there. We already have our own pyramids over here. We already have our own civilization and culture that's been here multiple thousands of years. And all those thousands of years, the Americas were ruled by dark-skinned people. Any dark-skinned person that's Aboriginal and Indigenous is a Moor. Any dark-skinned person. Once they're indigenous to a territory, they're a Moor. So don't get caught up in this thing. That, oh yeah, those people over there, they're Moorish American, and then the ones over there, they're Moorish Cuban, and then Cuba's in America. What you mean they're not Moorish American because they're Cuban? Well, they're Brazilian, they're Haitian Moors. They're not Moorish American because they're not part of Moorish Science Temple. Is Haiti in America? Yeah. So how are they not Moorish American? How are they Moorish Haitian, but they're not Moorish American? Drawley was about unity. That's why he said Moorish American. So everybody who's Moorish could fit under that if they're in the Americas. You don't gotta talk about no tribes or whatever. Forget your tribe. Forget your country of origin and all that stuff. All that stuff is a fiction. This is the Moroccan Empire. And anybody on the Moroccan Empire, they're Moorish. Or they're ipso jure Moorish subject. Either you're the rulership or you're the peasant. It's that simple. The Asiatic brother who's a bum on the street, he's a sovereign. All he has to do is proclaim his nationality. The bum who's Asiatic, walking around asking for change, they're Moorish American. You have to be part of a Moor Science Temple to be Moorish American. That's for believers. Believers think that way. That's why that way is there for those people who are dumb. That's why Noble Drew Ali said Quran questions for Moorish children, but he's talking to adults. Why is there Moorish children if he's talking to adults? If adults are the one who's reading the one-on-one questionnaire more than children, then obviously Noble Drew Ali was talking to those idiots over there. Idiots who didn't have this thing figured out because they don't study. They just want to follow Noble Drew Ali around like a damn lapdog. You're not supposed to be following Noble Drew Ali around like you don't know better. You're supposed to go study and figure this stuff out. And once you figure it out, then take your place amongst the affairs of men. Honest all the industrious Moors out there who figured this stuff out and realize it's not about being some lapdog of Noble Drew Ali. Drew Ali carrying you around in the damn dog bag and all this crap. You're not dog bag Moors. We study. So let them run game on you. You're not Moorish American because you're not part of the temple. Guaranteed, if there was a temple where you lived at, you would be part of it if you know you're a Moor. If you know you're a Moor, then you would be part of the Moor Science Temple of America. I bet you where you live at ain't no temple there. And I bet you if there is a temple there, when you went there, they were singing hymns to Noble Drew Ali and playing religious games. So it's not people are violating Noble Drew Ali why they're not part of the temple or whatever like that. It's these damn temples who haven't done their job and playing religious games. That's like at our temple. The Moor said, we don't want religious games. We need to have meetings and get organized. We don't need any more classes. I study on my own. I don't need classes. I don't need Grand Sheik sitting up there at the top trying to convince me or something. I'm already convinced. And there's more people in this room that are convinced than new people. So why are we doing classes? And then what's Grand Sheik gonna do? This is what the people want. It ain't about me sitting up there, standing there talking about BS that these people know already. So now our temple has meetings, not classes. And if anybody new shows up, they got some questions, they can ask them. But if you want class, here's the YouTube page. Go on this playlist, and there's class for you class people. We're at fruition stage. We're at applying Moorish whatever to our lives now. We're not about learn about this anymore. There's no temple making you Moorish American. You're that. That's your birthright. You came out your mom and you're that. And once you trust that you're that, then know that you're not just in here for some classes. You're here to take this information that you learn in your classes and apply them to your life. And then you see it working. And then once you see it working, now you know that you got something because you actually put this stuff in practice. You think you're sitting here talking about practice? You're sitting here talking about practice, not the game. I'm not talking about the game, going to the Hall of Fame and all that stuff. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the practices. Like the practices are the believers. Moors are not supposed to be believers. Moors are not supposed to be stuck in belief. Moors are not supposed to be religious idiots. That all they did is switch Noble Drew Ali for one of the other prophets' names, and now they're using Moor Science Temple as some religious whatever. I'm Grand Sheik. I talk to chaplains in the prison all the time. And I talk to chaplains in the prison because there's Moors in prison. Whether they found out in prison, whether they were out of prison and found out and then went in there, whether they were in there already and found out in there, there's Moors in prison. That's just what it is. And Moors in prison are realizing that, hey, I need a representative outside the prison because these people aren't letting me get whatever. They're not letting me do whatever. I want to have a fez in here. How come I can't have a fez? How come I can't have a turban? What do you mean I'm going to strangle myself with the cloth? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not going to strangle myself with a cloth so I can't have a turban. What? So could you call this chaplain? No, you give chaplain my number. Tell chaplain to call me. It's cool, Joel, Grand Sheik, the Moorish. Yep. Yeah, this is Chaplain Dave over at the prison over there. We got somebody in here who said that they're Moorish American. We got these people trying to do this thing, and we just wanted to know. Oh yeah, no, I could send you all the information. I could send you all his holy book and all that stuff, all the days that he needs free so he can do his whatever. Oh, this is. Oh, it's actually a real thing. It's real. I thought this is a sovereign thing, and these people trying to get out of paying taxes and whatever like that. No, that's not what Moorish is. That's not what Moorish is, Mr. Chaplain guy. Somebody lied to you. This individual in your prison who says that he's a Moor, he wants to better his life actually. Like he actually wants to better his life. And the Moor Science Temple of America has the lessons for him to better his life. And I'm here to back him 100% that he betters his life even in there. He's not going to get into trouble and all that stuff. He's not going to be, disrespectful to whoever's in there, and he's sovereign and you can't tell him they don't got jurisdiction and all that stuff. That's not what this is about. Oh, because I was watching online and I noticed, they're very anti-government, defiant, and all that. No, that's not what being Moorish is about. Somebody lied to you. Well, this was great to have this conversation with you. I'm gonna go tell the inmate right now that I talked to you, and let him know that he has our 100% support. Anything that he needs or whatever. Yeah, we were talking about religion, whatever like that. Yeah, we were talking about religion and all that. But it's not some religious thing. If the Moors who are inside, right, are gonna have the jail people, when they send them whatever it is that they're sending them, they're putting LB on it. They're not putting it under their number. They're putting it under LB in the prison right now. And just because that Moor went to them and said, hey, correctional officer guy, just want to let you know that I'm not this number right here. Like I'm Bay. But you're not a Bay. We're going to call you what we want to call you or whatever like that. 2 weeks later, everything's in Bay. Hey, Mr. Bay, how's things today? Everything's good. No issues. Hey, Mr. Bay. All the other inmates looking at them like, why are they calling you Bay and all that stuff? You're cornflake. This is Bay thing. They put them on some game. Put them on some game. No, they're going to the chaplain. Chaplain's calling now about them. Oh, no, the stuff I sent you? No, just copy that for anybody else who wants it. You don't need to call me anymore. You got everything that you need now. You got a photocopier there, right? Yeah, just slide that in the photocopier. It'll print for you. The Prophet found me on the yard in 2009, Islam. When I proclaimed on the yard, got receipts where I had to go to different camps and get authority from R. Jones Bay Group. Yeah. I'd get authority from R. Jones Bay Group. It should be no groups. The authorities from Noble Drew Ali. Right, but all those Moors after Noble Drew Ali were playing reincarnated prophet games. That's why when you hear these different groups of Moors say Noble Drew Ali, you got to really ask them which Noble Drew Ali you talking about. You talking about Dinglel Noble Drew Ali? You talking about Kirtland Bay, Noble Drew Ali. You're talking about Fard, Noble Drew Ali. You're talking about Lomax Bay, Noble Drew Ali. Which Drew Ali you talking about? Or you talking about 1928, assassinated 1929 Noble Drew Ali? Because all of them are different. Right? All of them are different. Right? And Drew Ali said this is divine and national. So for these Moors to only give you the religious side and never give the national side, all they give is the religious side, no national side, then they're in violation. Supreme violation. They can't be just given one side of this. They got to be given the fullness. You can't just give one side. They have to give everything. As next question. As I've been more recently involved with the temple, I observe Moors come and go for various reasons in that short time. I'm certain you know about that. The part I have the hardest time understanding is why is it so hard for Moors to understand that we have our own prophet and our own religion? We have the Quran, 101s, 102s, 114s, divine constitution and bylaws, Moorish literature in multiple forms, which can be confusing, and we have the Red Book. Why is there a debate about part and parcel versus part and partial? Also, what did the original divine constitution and bylaws say? What else can we do to mitigate the confusion? And now, let's look at this. All right, let's look at this in parts. All right. Why is it so hard for Moors to understand that we have our own prophet and our own religion? One, right, it's so hard because majority of people don't study for themselves. When it comes to the Moorish ideal, the Moorish paradigm, it is always embraced through someone else. So somebody outside of this individual who knows that they're a Moor has inspired them to be a Moor. But that's just inspiration. It has to be internalized by the individual. And if the individual, or when the individual realizes that in all of the Moorish literature, Noble Drew Ali was talking to that individually, personally, he was actually talking to you when you read his stuff. He wasn't talking to the body of Moors, he was talking to you. If he's talking to you personally, you're not going to have a hard time understanding what it is that Noble Drew Ali brought. Drew Ali always made reference that this is yours, your movement, your prophet, your divine constitution, your ancestors. This is a personal relationship that you have with Noble Drew Ali through his literature. So the ones who don't understand that Drew Ali brought their own religion, their own flag, their own prophet, their own everything, aren't gonna get that he was talking Aboriginal and Indigenous, us fending for ourselves. We don't need anybody. And many are gonna miss that and just think that this is some go pray to Noble Drew Ali, or this is some building to go worship and make the call to prayer and all this. When like there's a divine constitution and bylaws. Governments have constitutions. So how are we playing that this is a religious thing? Everybody else that has a constitution, they're a government. Oh, we have a constitution. Oh no, we're organization, religious corporation. Was filed in Cook County, and they start going there with this. Right? To keep this is Dwali came for the whole nation. The whole nation is in different places, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. They're in different places. So this is going to be viewed from all these different angles, based on the different spirits, based on the different mindsets that all these individual Moors have. If all Moors looked at this from the fruition degree, then we wouldn't have any issues. But it's not because they don't want to look at it from the fruition degree. It's because there's people in so many different lanes with regard to this. But all the lanes break down to either you're in the belief state of this, either you're in the faith state of this, or either you're in the fruition state of this. Don't look at it as all these different groups. And it's either they're Moors by belief, which means they're not ready yet. There's the Moors by faith, which means not ready yet. So anybody who's pushing this from a perspective of faith or belief or whatever like that, they shouldn't even be listened to, because they're not even qualified, because the qualification is that you're looking at this as fruition. That's the qualification. If the Moor that you're dealing with is telling you about let's go pray and all that stuff, that's not what this is about. If the Moor that you're dealing with is telling you, oh, forget the ancestors, they don't matter, all we got to do is study this law or whatever like that, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't be listening to them. And if you don't know what fruition is, go look that up, so at least you know what fruition is, so you're not confused. Right? Why is there a debate about part and parcel versus part and partial? Because Moors are confused, because there should be no debate. There's nothing to debate. We don't need Noble Drew Ali to know that it's part and parcel, because there's no term in existence called part and partial. There's no term called that. Like somebody just said that to cause confusion. It's like you start having some conversation and somebody throws in Middle East. And then conversation's still going on, and now we're talking about the Middle East. Why are we talking about the Middle East for? There ain't no Middle East. That's a fiction. Part and partial is a fiction. As soon as that comes up, you look at those people with the side eye, and you stop listening to them. What else can we do to mitigate the confusion? There's nothing that you can do, really, because we've been doing, and there's still confusion. Taj been doing before us, and there's still confusion. CMB been doing before him, and there's still confusion. So everybody has this literature from all these different people who came to get rid of the confusion, and there's still confusion, then there's nothing that you could do. And then when you go and check the universal laws, you realize, oh, balance. Okay, so there has to be the devil out here running around. That's just the balance. That's universal law. It's not negative and, oh my God, the murderers in the street. No, it's called balance. Can't just have all good. Sorry, it ain't happening. You're going to get some bad in there. Like there were some times that you had a plate of food and you're like, this is some BS. This food sucks. This person can't cook. Why are they even in the kitchen? Right? Confusion's going to be there. Lies, deceit, and all that stuff, it's going to be there. It's where are you resonating? Are you resonating where there's no confusion? right? Because the part and partial conversation, that's over there with the people who are confused. The part and partial conversation is not with Moors who know what's up. We don't mention part and partial. Partial doesn't even come up in any conversation. I don't think a Moor ever used the word partial in any conversation with me. That word alone doesn't come up. Just like black, it's not going to come up when you're dealing with Moors who know what's up. You're not going to hear them say black anything. It's not even going to be in the conversation. So, correction. What you could do to mitigate the confusion is stay away from people who are causing the confusion. Stay away from confusion to mitigate the confusion. Right? Stay away from it. That's the best thing that you could do. Right? But in order to know what the confusion is, then whatever is presented as confusion, you have to know more than confusion to be able to combat the confusion. Right? Just like somebody says, Noble Drew Ali reincarnated, and they start having a conversation about the law and sovereignty and nationality, birthrights, and the fact that they said Noble Drew Ali reincarnated, automatically you shouldn't even be paying them any attention. I don't care what they say and how good it sounds. Because that's void ab initio, because it's fraud. There's no Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. That there's no individual called that. That's a fraud. That was made up. That individual had a name when the real Noble Drew Ali was walking around. And they weren't calling themselves Noble Drew Ali reincarnated when Noble Drew Ali was walking around. Check. Is there any literature or lessons from or about the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, healing practices and modalities? Well, if you contact a Mexam Almanac has the Moorish Herbs book. That if you're into herbs and that realm, then get that book. And then as far as the health aspect, right? Noble Drew Ali was, and there's also a PDF out there about Moorish herbs and teas or something like that. I can't remember the author. Actually, no, it wasn't even an author. It was a dissertation on Noble Drew Ali. A lady did a dissertation on Noble Drew Ali, and in the dissertation, she was talking about the herbs that Noble Drew Ali was using and all that. She was talking about different teas, but it's out there. That's a find. Just Google search Noble Drew Ali herbs, teas, whatever like that, and go to the books section. Or if it's not in the book section, then you can check JSTOR, JSTOR. And then they have PDFs on there. It might be on there. But when you're talking about healing practices and all that, you're talking about stuff that's been around before Noble Drew Ali. So you just go to any herbalist. Right. There's one called there's one by prevention.com. It's prevention.com/healing/herb. And this is copyright 1998. And they're talking about healing herbs, 200 natural cures that work. This is just prevention.com. Healing herbs, 200 natural cures that work. Right? All the herbs a woman needs. These are the different titles of herbs that they're talking about in the book. All the herbs that a woman needs. Aloe. This is not all the herbs that a woman needs. All the herbs a woman needs is a title in itself. Right? And then they have, you know, a one page where they're talking about all the herbs a woman needs. Right? Right? Aloe, angelica, astragalus, black cohosh, cohosh, black haw, burdock, calendula, cayenne, chamomile, chasteberry, cinnamon, dandelion, echinacea, eucalyptus, evening primrose, fennel, feverfew, garlic, ginger, ginkgo, ginseng, golden seal, hawthorn, lavender, lemon balm, licorice, marshmallow, milk thistle, motherwort, nettle, oat straw, passion flower, peppermint, St. John's wort, skullcap, slippery elm, Uva ursi, valerian, yarrow, yellow dock, cure finder index. And this is just prevention.com. And then it goes through all the different herbs. Talking about their history, their traditional use, growing it, purchasing it, recipes. So remember that Juali was universal in his presentation. So yes, we give supreme honors to Noble Juali, but there are things that predate him. That if we find those things, because Noble Juali's mentioned, or because, you know, oh, I didn't see this in the Moorish literature, so we're going to disqualify it because Noble Juali didn't bring it. That's all that religious stuff. And don't go there with Juali. Juali is about every subject matter. So anybody you know that they're talking holistic, whatever. Well, they never mentioned Noble Juali, so I ain't listening to them. Well, not really. Was their information factual? Did you fact check everything that they said? Yeah, I fact checked. And were they wrong? No, they weren't wrong. Everything they said checked out. All right. So take that information and go do something with it like your prophet would want you to do. But they didn't mention Noble Juali though. So they say that they're black. Is their information credible? Yes, it's credible. They call themselves black. Yes. But you fact check what they said, and what they said was right and exact. You're not going to debate what they said. No, I'm not going to debate what they said. Only thing I'm debating is that we're not black. They keep talking about black people and all that stuff. Then don't concern yourself with the bones. If you like fish, you're not concerned about the bones. Bones aren't even something we're talking about. They just get pushed to the side of the plate. Just push the bones to the side of the plate and get whatever else that you're going to get. Don't worry about the bones. Because, yeah, it's hard. Because, you know, you want them to say that we're Moors and say Moors and all. Don't worry about that. Get the info. Get the info and get the hell out of there. All right? Get the info and get out of there. It's the best thing you could do. Just get the info, get the hell out of there. Last question that we have, or questions. Should one have done or do a genealogy research? Is that necessary for nationality? Is knowing your tribe important for records pertaining to one's estate? So let's just check this. Now the corpse, this is what the corpse has to say. So there's a fraud. There's a fraud, a scam dealing with genetic testing. Right? It's such a fraud that different governmental bodies around the world have come out openly and said, we sent the saliva of pomegranates. And then they came back, talk about pomegranates, 5% African and 20% and all that. And people take their salamander saliva and turn that into the genetic people. And genetic people came back with their salamander, it's 50% European or whatever. Human? Yeah, human. Human? You sure? Yeah. So I sent you my DNA and you came back with 5% European, 20% Scandinavian, 80% African. Yeah. Thank you very much. You already know you sent salamander saliva, so what more you need from them? Now, people who do that right, genealogy, whatever that, yeah, you can go find out. It's not going to hurt you. You know what I mean? It's not going to hurt you. The issue is the people using it for fraud. Right? It's not the genealogy testing that's bad. It's the people who are using it for fraud that's bad, which gives the messed up name to the genealogy stuff, which is why you're asking the question. Right? Just like the BS that people do with the Moorish stuff, and then people automatically think, well, this Moorish stuff must be BS, because look what this goof ass is doing with it. Right. So exactly, the old way was records. So what should be going on is that from your great whoever to your great whoever to your great whoever to your great whoever to your grand whoever to your mom, your dad, to you should have gotten something, a quilt, a book, whatever, a piece of paper slid into the back of a rubber duck or whatever like that you pull that out and you say, oh wow, okay, so our ancestry is da 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 da. Okay, and that's how you would know. That's how you would know. You wouldn't know because somebody tested your saliva. You would know because it was handed down to you from generations. And then everybody who was, they put their little whatever on it, put it back in the time capsule and seal it away until the next generation needs to look at it to know what's up. The next generation comes up and then they can't find anything because it got stolen or some idiot in the family burned it in a fire, dropped a cigarette on it or some stupid shit. So now your historical record's gone. Now you're trapped without historical records. So a lot of these things that they have today are scam things, so you got to be careful. But if you do find legit, it's not going to hurt to go do your genealogy. You don't have to do that to know who you are. You could just accept the fact of who you are and keep it moving. Like you know who you are. Like you don't know who you are. You're the essence in the body, experiencing this earth plane. Right. So Drew Ali already told you what your nationality was. Any other information you get or any other information you find out, you're finding that out for you to add on. You're not doing the genealogy for the genealogy to be the all and be all. The all and be all is that we're Moors and we have a nationality. We've been lied to that we were Negro, black, colored. And then there was an institution called Moorish Science Temple of America. That's where you're going to go to learn. And then when you get in there, you're going to find out about the Moorish Holy Temple of Science and the Moorish Divine and National Movement and the Moorish Nation and realize that this is bigger than just some temple. This is bigger than I could even imagine. All right. A Moor who drinks alcohol, just like a Moor who smokes, or a Moor who whatever. I tell people what they could do or what they can't do with their life. Who are you? If a Moor who drinks alcohol, at least he knows he's a Moor. I'll ride with that Moor who drinks alcohol before any of these niggers out here who don't know theirself. Why would I cast away the Moor who drinks alcohol to embrace the black guy who's clean and pure and whatever? No. I'm riding with the Moor who drinks alcohol. Because at least I know he's a Moor or she's a Moor. And they have a nationality. And that they're working on their self, which is probably why they're drinking alcohol. They're finding out so much shit about their life, studying Moorish science, realize how their parents fucked up, how their parents fucked them up, being niggers. So now you got a drinking problem or a weed smoking problem to deal with all this truth that they're finding out that nobody told them. So yeah, I'm riding with the Moor who's drinking alcohol, like the Moor with addiction, the Moor with weed smoking issues, the Moor whatever. I'm riding with the Moor before I ride with the dummy who claims to be perfect. I'm gonna be mad at the Moor who smokes cigarettes. I've been mad at the Moor who smokes cigarettes. At least he knows he's a Moor. Yeah, but he's smoking and that's bad. He's not supposed to be smoking. That's that Moor's life. Who might have told that Moor they can't eat piece of pork if they want to? They want to eat pork, then they're going to eat pork. What am I going to do about that? No, I'm not going to be around them when they're eating pork or whatever like that. I'm not taking peace if they offer or whatever. I'm not going to look at them more, you know. You know what I mean? And oh yeah, and don't think because, you know, answering questions in the chat that I'm talking to you or anything like that. You know, it's not a personal. I'm saying you to generalize, you know. Right? Like it's not you know, you're not a Moor because you do something that society, whatever. You know, like you're a Moor. There is the side of morals and all that stuff. You know, I don't think, you know, somebody drinking is immoral. Like I don't think they're an evil person because they drink alcohol. Now, if the guy who drinks alcohol and then he crashed his car 50 times and he's going back again and and 50 times, you know, 10 people died every time that he crashed his car, then yeah, you know, we have issue with that more. That more shouldn't be behind no wheels of anything drinking. You know, I'm talking about somebody who casually, they have a drink once in a while or whatever. Even if they drink and get drunk because they're traumatized or whatever like that. I mean, hey, it is what it is. They're doing something crazy when they're drunk. They're going out there beating their wife or something like that. No, nothing like that. They just get pissed drunk so they don't have to deal with their nigger issues that they're learning how to deal with. That's all right. I'm not going to condemn that more. That more is at least trying because they know they're a Moor. So eventually, you know, it's going to get to the stage where they're going to fix themselves eventually. Whether they fix themselves because they're not here no more or whether they fix themselves because they're tired of the BS. You know. Right? Yeah. The sin is not in the act. It's in the intention. If you have evil intentions while you're drinking, if you're talking about saying the Moorish American prayer and you're studying and reading or whatever like that, you got to drink there, feeling a little wobbly, you know, your words getting slurred a little bit. But you're talking about birthrights and shit. The hell am I worried about your drinking? You know, that's their liver. They'll deal with it however they deal with it. You know, but I'm not condemning some more because they had a drink. That's that Christian shit. And I'm not Christian. You know. You have your little wine, you want to sit back and watch a movie or something like that, then hey, do your thing. Because you were watching this movie with a third eye and looking for the messages in the movie or whatever like that, then you watch all the movies you want. And don't let anybody tell you anything about your movie watching either, especially if they're a dumb nigger. What's their nationality? Don't let them do that to you. Peace and love to all the Moors worldwide. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Sons of Allah. We're getting the payback for last week. So we'll see y'all tomorrow right here for Sons of Allah with Kudro L and Mizraim L. The first Sons of Allah for the Gregorian 2024. So that's tomorrow night. And don't forget, 7:30 tonight, RV Bay Publications has the weekly presentation Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Just go to RV Bay Publications, hit up RV Bay Publications, go to the homepage, and get all the information that you need relative to where you could learn and the importance of sticking with the real ones. Supreme honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to all the Moors in the chat. Honors to all the Moors that send their questions in. Thank you for being courageous and wanting to figure some stuff out, because you can get some answers if you ask questions. If you don't ask any, then you might be spinning wheels. Honors to all the mothers. Thank you for life. Supreme honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Oh, and don't forget, Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour 2024. So we're already on deck for ATL, Colorado, Phoenix. We're already on deck for Springfield, DC. So if you want to get in, Chicago. So there's about six tentative that's happening. So we're making our way. If you want any info, if you want a book, you want to get down with the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour, just talk to the Moors where you're at, and let's make it happen. Canaanland Guide at gmail.com. If you have any info or want any info with regard to the Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour 2024. Because we did the 2023, and that was pretty intense. So these Moors wanted another year. So let's go again. Second year, Love, Truth, Peace, Freedom, Justice Tour. Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Don't forget 7:30 Eastern Time. Mother Raz going in with Brother Minka every Wednesday, 7:30. And every third Thursday, Sons of Allah will be here tomorrow for Sons of Allah. We'll be here tomorrow for Sons of Allah, 7:30. Peace and love to all the Moors. Islam.